Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm in a radio studio of the SWR3, one of the, I think,
Yes, one of the most famous and
radio stations in Germany?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the most famous radio stars, and he loves to be called a star.
No, it's not true.
He is almost Irish. He's constantly doing self-deprecation. No, he's really well known. He's really well known. His name is Kristian Thees. And I'm really curious. We have been doing for more than 2 years, I think,
Yes.
the weekly body talk, where we give short hints and short body language tips for the everyday life. For instance, if you are stopped over by the police, what body language helps you that you don't get fined? Or when your children don't obey, what body language helps you? Those are the tips. Now, today it's all about Kristian and his work. Kristian.
Yes.
Now, you
Stefan.
have been working for 10, 20 years in radio?
Yeah, almost over 25 years.
Over
I know.
25 years.
I know, it's been a long time.
It's just radio.
No,
How about
it's not
body
just
language?
radio.
No, yeah,
it's radio.
But how about body language? Is it important, body language?
Probably it's important because if you want to get across a particular emotion, a particular feeling, if you want to have a little emphasis in the voice, want more energy in the voice, probably you have to sort of mirror this one in the body language, because it just helps bringing out these emotions also in the voice.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure, because I'm always fiddling about, and well, I should always sound like a lunatic, I don't know, what is he on drugs?
Which he is.
What kind of stuff has he been smoking? Is probably what you would be thinking when you look at me while I'm doing the show. I don't know. So
do you feel embarrassed?
I do a lot. I don't feel embarrassed because it feels natural to me, but it looks awful.
No.
No, it really does look awful.
I mean, you saw him, and that's the way when I see him doing a moderation, or people keep telling that he's always moving so much. The question is, are you conscious about it?
Well, I don't know. Yes. Well, no, usually I'm not. Because I'm totally focused on what I'm saying on the air. I'm not aware of what my body language looks like in that moment. Mm-hmm. But when people come to me afterwards and they say, "Oh, you're fiddling about that so typically you, fiddling about all the time," then I do recognize myself. Yeah, I know I do that a lot because people keep telling me.
And the thing is, when I hear you doing a moderation, you come across in such a energetic way. And maybe it's also because of your body language. I'm not sure.
But I always try to sound very serious.
Really?
Dear listeners.
Really?
Good morning. This is Stefan Werra. He's the king of body language.
That sounds like Radio Vatican.
Radio Vatican. Yeah. Are there good DJs on Radio Vatican? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there?
No, and when you talk about talking, you told me before that you studied translator. Is that what's the proper way?
Well, I studied to be an interpreter.
Interpreter, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
dolmetscher and interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
I've never worked as an interpreter, so I would be total rubbish.
What languages?
At it. English, German, Italian.
Wow, 3 languages.
Well, yeah. You should have 3.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
I have a lot of respect because it's so quick. They have to translate so quickly.
it's a tough job. Yeah, it's a really tough and demanding job. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult, but if you're a good one, I mean, you can manage. But interpreting, conference interpreting, simultaneous interpreting, that's a tough job.
Yeah, I see them when I get interpreted,
Yeah.
and I'm speaking very, very fast.
Yeah.
And so they're really sweating. But when you are moving so much while talking, how is that as an interpreter? Eman, would you...
Oh, the interpreter usually doesn't even see you. I mean, if he
No. If you are interpreting...
As an interpreter.
Yeah, and you...
Yeah. I don't know, but probably most people who speak, at a conference, the ones that you do interpret, they are probably very quiet, and you would kind of mirror their emotions. Okay. So because it's always serious stuff. I mean, they are usually no entertainers. It's very dry stuff, sometimes medical stuff, and it's very topical, but serious stuff. And these people, always like that. Sometimes, you know, they speak fast, which is not good, but okay. But you kind of automatically mirror their way of speaking.
In your body language.
Yeah, but you put into your voice because you're just sitting in this small chamber somewhere, you know, outside the building or wherever. The conditions very often are not really good because nobody cares about the interpreter. He's the last in line. You know, nobody takes consideration.
And you know what? Some of those little cabins stink.
Yeah, I know, because
you're sweating so much, and
nobody gives a damn, you know, what the interpreter's conditions to work in are like. So,
but you know what I like? While he's talking, you saw him for several minutes. Now he's like an Italian. He's moving and showing motions. I think it's important because as a child, when we are born, we only have the possibility to communicate with our body language. If we want to have the butter or the ball, we have to show it with our gestures.
Yes.
And then we learn the words. And from that moment on, we can leave out some of the gestures because the words can say, give me the butter. But what still remains is we say, give me the butter, please. A small hint of that initial gesture is still in our body language. And I think you could diminish it, you could erase it completely, but I'm not sure if it is an advantage in a lot of situations.
No. On radio, it's fine. On TV, it would look very silly.
Yeah,
on TV, you know, you mustn't have gestures, you know, which are too
You know why that is?
Huh?
You know why that is? It is because the horizon in the TV, that is the whole horizon.
Yes.
When I see you, I see that range.
Yes.
And your gesture in the radio is very small. But if that would be the whole horizon and you would only do this, it would be almost from one end to
all
the other.
over the screen, yeah.
And that is why when you see people on the TV and they are just fiddling around with their fingers, it seems so much because the horizon is way smaller.
Yeah.
And that is why you should not show too much motion, although that is also changing because YouTube is the new medium. And when you see YouTube stars, which get millions and millions of clicks, they show a lot of motions. I think also in TV, things are going to change a little bit. And Germany will be maybe the last one.
But there is no box for radio.
No box, no.
Our box is
Although
the world.
sure
we can move as much
webcam.
as we want. We can talk everywhere in the studio.
Only Fabian, the technician, he wants you to have you near the microphone. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a little broadcast from a broadcast station.
Yes.
Thank you, Kristian.
Well, thank you for making me famous. And now back to my medication.